Yeah, I'm a knitter and a crocheter. I'm a hooker.
Look at that hooker.
I guess.
Hey, where's my embroideries of, like...
Oh, shit.
The one with the Jesus / just kidding, it's weed. Those ones.
Hit it.
They're here.
Don't cross the streams.
Bueller.
I'll have what she's having.
Right, stop.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Bueller.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
I'll be back.
I am your father.
Bueller.
I feel the need. The need for speed.
It's showtime.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am good. I am in my closet with the cows as my background.
For those who don't know, we do this obviously remotely. We do it on Skype, and sometimes we like to pick funny background pictures because why not?
Or it picks for us. It knew I missed that kind of scenery. Even though I can find it around here,
yeah,
it's not on my daily route. We have those, not llamas, what are they called?
Alpacas?
Yes, we have alpacas up the road right before Smith Rock.
They make some great yarn, I'm not going to lie. Like, yarn is my life.
No, I bet. I've been to all those events around these parts. The home goods and stuff.
Yeah.
Shop local, friends.
Oh, I have a story for you, though. Are you ready?
And then I have something for you, so yes.
So I told you I hurt my knee. I sent you a picture of my knee, and you were like, what happened? And I'm like, oh, I'll tell you when we're recording. So here we are.
I completely forgot about it because there's been so much in my mind. I'm glad you're good. I vaguely kind of remember now, but go on.
So Robert and I went for a walk, and it was really nice and sunny and all the things, but he had a rebate check from Costco in his pocket, in his jacket pocket. And during the walk, it fell out. And we were going to go to Costco after our walk and go spend it or whatever. And we got to Costco, and we're walking toward the store, and Robert's like, shit. He didn't have the check. It wasn't in his pocket. Mm-hmm. So we go back to the trail, and the trail that we were on goes in a loop. So we decided to divide and conquer. We would go separate ways, and if we didn't find it by the time we met at the halfway point, we would like double check and go. We'll complete the loops and double check the other sides. So we got to the middle, couldn't find anything. So I keep going, and there's a trash can on the side, and I'm like, this trail is pretty immaculate. I bet you people pick up trash all the time. So I check inside that garbage can. Not there. I check in the other garbage can. Lo and behold, it's right on top. Like, thank goodness.
Yes, for Good Samaritans.
Yay, Good Samaritans. Throw away your trash. People might need it. But then, so thank God it was like just right on top and not like in anything
smushed down
or gross or anything weird.
Or rainy.
Or like, I mean, it's a park and people's dogs poop there all the time, and they clean up after their dogs, which is great. But all those garbage cans, guess what they smell like? But anyway, so
I hope you had disinfectant.
Oh shoot, dude. Anyway, I found it. I win. Woohoo!
Yay.
So what happened to my knee actually happened before we went to go find this check. I got out of the truck and I walked around the front of the truck, but the pavement for the parking lot, it cuts off pretty close. And I don't know what happened, but I stepped wrong on the edge of that, and my whole foot, the bad foot, rolled to the side. And I just went fucking down, dude. I hit with my left knee and my right wrist, and I just, it was like in slow motion. I just kept falling, and then I was trying to catch myself on my right leg, but I haven't done squats in like 100 years, and I've been kind of bedridden. So,
dude, I understand.
So I couldn't even catch myself with my right leg, and now I feel like I'm the world's weakest person, and I just went down freaking hard. My knee is like all yellow and purple right now. It's pretty great. I'll send you a picture.
Ew. I don't want to see it. I'm sorry, I love you, but those things I don't like. I don't like bruises, cuts, bleeding, owies. When people are like, feel this, I'm like, ugh.
You have two toddlers.
I don't know what I'm going to do when they lose their teeth.
Asher's almost there, isn't he?
Yes. Speaking of stories, I've got
Yes.
one.
What's going on? Tell
Well,
me
I
yours.
told you already, but Eli's doing okay because he bit through his lip.
Oh my god.
Not all the way through, but he
But you had to
fell.
glue it. Yeah.
So basically, he was downstairs before bed, fell off a chair. I think what he does is he bites his lip anyways, like puts his bottom lip in his mouth. That makes sense on his owie. So anyways, he went in, we glued it, got antibiotics just in case, but the mouth is pretty cool at healing itself inside. It's fine. Good news is Eli and I will now have matching scars on our face. Real quick.
Yes.
I was listening to the Popeye episode, and at the end, when we were like, yeah, like Shrek, there was an animated version in, 2016 or something.
Stop it.
And I haven't seen it, but YouTube was like, look at this. But isn't that some shit?
That is so funny. I mean, I guess we should probably look and see if they've ever remade these movies.
All right, guys. I know this looks desperate, but I got this can of spinach. Oh, God, it's all watery.
So yeah, awkward transition into, hi, we are the Silver Screen Sisters.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We like to start off these shows with just chatting a little bit because we like chatting to each other and we like letting you guys know what's going on in our lives, occasionally.
Yeah. And we're busy, so we don't always talk all the time. So.
Exactly. So this is our time to check up on each other. And
it's weird now that I feel comfortable letting these people listen to our lives. So the movie of the week, The Three Fugitives. Yeah, how'd you like this one?
Dude, I'm going to call this one the ultimate romantic comedy.
Yes.
I felt like it was Kindergarten Cop tied with something like Romancing the Stone or something like that.
I never saw Romancing the Stone, but I was thinking Kindergarten Cop in a sense too.
For reals though? Yeah, Kindergarten Cop. This movie was 89 and I think Kindergarten Cop was in the early 90s too. So it's the same flair feel of it. But yes, the ultimate bromance is what this movie's about.
So The Three Fugitives, 1989, bromance. Love it. And hilarious. The director is Francis Weber. I don't know if it's pronounced different. He's French.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure he's French. Francis Weber or Weber. I don't know. I know nothing about French language, even though I took 2 trimesters of it. It didn't stick. I'm very bad with second languages. Yep, so Francis Weber, he actually first directed the Three Fugitives in a French version of the Three Fugitives.
Interesting.
So the Fugitives, the French version, Les Fugitifs. I don't know. That sounded good.
I think the L is...
L-E-S?
Yeah, okay. I think the S is silent.
Do not listen to this for French lessons. But this one was 1986.
Les Miserables. Okay, 1986.
I try to say that I can never. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
Les
I'm like, Les Miserables, guys.
Yeah, Les Miserables.
I'm so bad. I
Victor
do need
Hugo
a teacher.
is rolling over in his grave.
I know. I can never be in a foreign movie.
I mean, for real though.
Unless I'm Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards.
Yo, dude, or in Snatch. That was hilarious, dude.
Only times it was acceptable.
I know, right?
Okay, so I thought it was cool that he directed the French version and then did the American version.
Yeah, especially since the two genres, especially in the 80s, I think were very different. We did the Neverending Story one, and they sent that to Steven Spielberg to be edited for American audiences. I wonder if they did the same thing for this when they filmed it.
I think he did the project all together.
Yeah, I would think,
so I feel like he had control over both projects.
Yeah, but editing would be after the fact. It would be...
Right, but he was one of the producers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so
there was 4 or 5 of them, and he was one of them.
Okay, they would have figured it out for American audiences. No biggie.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the only information I really saw about the director who, the producer. The cast, awesome.
Oh, God, yeah.
I looked into... Because they're all familiar faces again. Nick Nolte, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I did not recognize him at all. But he's been in everything. A lot in the 80s, all the way up till now. Last thing I saw was The Mandalorian.
I will help you. I have spoken.
So yeah, that was pretty cool because he's one of those actors I didn't see, but I saw him throughout the years. And then
of course, Martin Short.
Yes, he Martin Short I did not realize was in a lot of movies with Steve Martin.
Oh yeah, they're a duo.
Yeah, and I didn't think to look that up, but we'll probably talk about it in another movie. All right. So Nick Nolte, his character in the movie is Lucas. Martin Short's character is Ned Perry. The little girl, Sarah Rowland Doroff, is Meg Perry, and there wasn't a lot on her. She did only like 3 movies when she was young. Nothing big, not a big profile. We had James Earl Jones in it as Dugan and Alan Ruck as Tenor, and they were the cops. Fun fact, this movie, the girl is a mute. James Earl Jones was a mute, I think, until he was like 8 or something.
No.
Yeah, it took him a while to talk and stuff. So I have to look more into that. But yeah, it was on IMDb.
Wow, with that voice, I never would have thought. Honestly, I'm going to say this, and I mean this in the best possible way because I admire you so much, but she reminded me of you. I'm not going to lie. Like, just like the strong, silent type in the face. Yeah.
I am a very silent type. No, just kidding. I am silent when I'm angry or irritated.
Yes.
A lot of the time, even in social settings, I am very like, hi, how are you? Even though I don't want to be.
Got it. Anything else?
You're an asshole.
We recognize Kenneth McMillan.
Oh, yes.
Horvath in this movie, but he was in Dune, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, yes.
And then Bruce McGill as Charlie. But yeah, anyways, this is basically that was the big names, overall good cast. Let's talk about the music for a second. Did you look up anything about the music?
Dude, okay, so this guy's cool. I'm not gonna lie. Reading up on him and everything, he's pretty cool. He hasn't done much in the way of movies. He was more active late 80s, early 90s, and then he kind of just stops after 94. He has a couple projects. His first thing was Nobody's Perfect with a K, but he did Mystic Pizza.
Oh, nice.
He did a lot of early 90s stuff. Lots of TV movies, actually. So, like, he does not have a Wikipedia page, and that's usually where I go to for a lot of my information on these guys. So I Googled him, and he actually has his own website. It's davidmchugh.com. I'm just going to read this little paragraph. Like, there's a little bit of a paragraph here, and I just want to read it because I love this and I respect this so much, and I want more people to be like this. And there probably are. They just don't say anything. David McHugh was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. He earned a bachelor's degree in music education at SUNY, Fredonia, majoring in piano and a master's degree in composition at CUNY, Queens. Though his career has mostly focused on music composition, he has worked in many areas including writing, sculpture, architecture, photography, and furniture making. This guy is a badass.
He is an artist.
In spite of achieving success in his career path, his primary motivation has been to achieve an ever-increasing state of awareness, exploring human consciousness and the nature of beauty. He believes the journey entails focusing away from the self to the larger context in which we exist.
That's beautiful. I want to have coffee with this person on an
me
afternoon
too.
for like 5 hours.
I mean, he looks very calm. Like, his picture looks very calm and relaxed, and it's just like him, super casual, very happy and relaxed looking. There's like he only has laugh lines on his face, and he's sitting next to his very cute dog, and he's holding a bear, like jeans and t-shirt, holding a bear, sitting next to a dog. What more do you want?
That sounds like a Pacific Northwest lifestyle.
The only complaint, quote unquote, that I had about the score, but I think it's just an 80s thing, is the Kenny G sax music.
Yep, I was going to bring that up too. The one time I noticed that and I was like, damn 80s, because it's an 80s thing. It's not a him thing.
Like, if anything, good for him for doing that. Like, it was a trend at the time, even though, like, I wonder if he was, like, against it, you know?
Right.
But I will say that, Kenny G does play a soprano sax, and I'm pretty sure this was an alto sax just in the higher range. I don't know that for sure, so don't come at me if I got that wrong.
I didn't even know there was differences, so kudos to you.
Oh, yeah, by the way, there's a difference, but yeah.
Well, I was going to say that saxophone in the 80s would be like if the accordion was a big thing in this decade.
Oh,
it would just be, it's just
geez.
terrible. Like, nobody wants to listen to that. And they thought they did.
I only want to listen to accordion if Weird Al is playing it or if I'm in Venice.
I've seen him in concert, by the way.
You did not.
It was just like the county fair around these parts, but it was still one of the best shows I've ever been to.
I bet it would.
He makes a great show. I had the best time.
Oh, man, I want to go now.
I think Cody was there, too, before I met him. So we were both there, but didn't know each other.
Oh, now that's cool. Did you know that they're making a Weird Al biopic?
Yes, I heard about that with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, I'm like, shit. What?
He's a great actor. I have faith in him.
Okay, I guess we should actually start talking about this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just have a couple little facts. There wasn't a lot. I don't have any... What am I trying to say here? I don't have any scandals or anything like that. Basically, I told you that there was the French film first, and then this was remade to this 1989 Three Fugitives film by the same director. Mm-hmm. Let's see. There's only a couple things. Yeah, this didn't have a lot of facts. I thought I took a picture of one, and it made me laugh so hard. It was the errors in geography. Here we go.
Oh.
This made me laugh.
Okay, so yeah, that was another thing, because it takes place in Tacoma. So there's a lot of things that I was recognizing and a lot of things that I was like, that doesn't check out. But now I want to hear what that is, because yes, I live here, and I was recognizing a lot of places.
Right. Well, I noticed Mount Rainier at the end when they were in Canada.
You can't see Mount Rainier from Canada.
Exactly. So it made me laugh.
Yeah, Robert was like, is that Mount Rainier? I'm like, yes. We see that mountain every goddamn day. Well, every day it decides to come out because there's a lot of clouds up here.
And there's just little things here and there, but honestly, there wasn't many facts. So I think we should just get into this movie.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about it. It starts off not on a dark and stormy night, but in jail.
In jail, yeah. A lot of the best movies actually start in jail, like Blues Brothers. That was pretty funny, and he's just like, all right, and they just let him go. But one thing I really did like about the letting him go out of jail scene was a lot of those scenes have like this giant gate that they just walk out of. That's not how it works.
Right, it gave more of a process.
Yeah.
Like, here's your stuff back, you get money for whatever.
Yeah, and then they just escort him out a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a regular door. I'm like, that would be legit how it works. You're not going to have this pomp and circumstance.
And this is Nick's character, Lucas, who just was in jail for, like, robbing 4 or 5 banks prior, and he's been in there for 5 years. Wait, was it 14 or 4 banks? I don't even remember. I didn't take a lot of notes either, but he was in jail for 5 years.
Yeah, he got into a lot of shit. I will, you know what, while we're talking about this movie, I'm probably going to be comparing it to romance beats and stuff. Okay. So like this, this is a trope. He is the grumpy guy, and Martin Short is the sunshiny one, even though he's going through some shit, but he's like pretty funny and heartwarming. And so you see the grumpy and the sunshine trope happening between these two, because he's only soft for the sunshiny one. Other than that, he's just a complete asshole.
Yeah, but I think it's because of the daughter. They put in the daughter part. Like, obviously, guys, you gotta watch it. They're, like, really not romantic together. But it's funny. It's hilarious how they proceed to the end. And we'll get there.
Yeah.
So, yes, and waiting for Nick is both of the detectives. And Duggan's, harassing him. No benefit of the doubt. He's like, you're going to do this again, which I absolutely hate. It's like there's so many different kinds of biases that we have. And as cops, you definitely can develop a bias over a certain time because of your own experience.
I will say, though, that I feel like Duggan, even though he was, giving him a hard time, like, hey, you're going to be back in 5 years, he also kind of did it with some humor.
But it was almost condescending. buddy.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Because, you saw Nick's face. He was just like, you're an asshole to everybody. My favorite line, by the way, in this movie. So anyways, first thing he does getting out of jail is go to the bank to cash his check or put it in a bank account.
Right?
And that's where it all starts.
That was so...
romance.
I'm between jobs.
Everybody! Hands up! Hands up! Stick them up! This is a holdup! I said stick them up! You see this? Do you know what this is? It's a grenade! And I'm pulling the pin, so no funny business!
I will say that the beginning for me was a little rough because I haven't seen Nick Nolte in that much stuff, and I'm not really familiar with him, and it was all like doom and gloom and anger and condescension and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, great, what kind of movie are we going to be in with Martin Short? Like, this is going to be a mess. And then the bank robbery scene happened, and I was like, and Martin Short just comes running in and just to do his thing, and he's just a complete klutz and
He's already short, and he's like, this is a stick up, and everyone's like taller than him in the lobby.
And then like his mask, like his identity is just revealed like that, and then the bag getting stuck on the chandelier. What has a chandelier in the bank?
It was very chaotic for sure, but hilarious. So he also had a grenade.
Yes, he also had a grenade, and Lucas is just like rolling his eyes at the sloppy job because he knows he could do better than that. And that was so good.
That was what made it amazing too. Like, what are you doing?
You're a fucking asshole.
I must say though, when they come out and Lucas is the hostage, and Martin Short's like, what's Martin's name? Perry. I'm gonna call him Perry because that's his last name.
Okay.
Perry. He's like talking to him, and Lucas is murmuring, "You're a fucking asshole." And then Perry like passes out as he's like, "I'm the hostage." Lucas is like, "I'm it," and then he's like holding him, like,
Pick up your weapon, asshole.
such a shit show and hilarious.
It was the amount of times that Lucas called Perry an asshole. It was like a pet name by the end of it. It was so funny.
So then they like dive under the car because Lucas is like, fuck this shit. He's trying so hard not to get in trouble. He's trying to be like, tell them, but it doesn't work. And so they get under the car. Perry comes to, and he shoots the car. Some more assholes.
It was great slapsticky, old-timey, like Three Stooges, Three Fugitives, Three Stooges type of humor. And that just made everything better in this movie. Like, that guy's a genius. He did so well.
Well, they do end up getting into Perry's car. At this point, Lucas has the gun. And this is where we find Perry, where his backbone is. He's like, this is my money, my robbery. You give me the gun back. And it was such a great speech. You know he's fighting for something.
Yeah.
But what happens when he gets the gun back, Billy?
I can't remember.
He shoots him in the leg.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He shot him in the leg.
And Lucas is looking at him like, what the fuck? And you can hear the cops being like, what, he's never shot anybody. Because they think Lucas has the gun. But it was hilarious, and they drove off, and then off not a cliff, but a little hill into construction. So they got away by the grace of God. And at this point, the car explodes because, remember, we've got a grenade that's active. Miraculously, this car got to where it needed to be blown up.
Yes.
So at this point, they start talking, or Nick is like, he's freaking out. Like, I just got out.
Yeah, and so then the story comes out, why Perry is doing all this, and the sob story, and just, And, this is actually great because we cope with comedy, and we also spread awareness through comedy, and I think that's great. I love that about this movie. That's probably one of my favorite bits about this movie. It's just how real it is.
Yes. But also...
It's fake, but it's real.
Also not real because after this, Lucas steals a car and then takes him straight to the police department and is like, this guy...
Yep. That was so amazing.
Yes. And Perry decided, well, I can tell them that you made me, and that's why...
I was wondering when he was going to start thinking and get that.
Right, exactly, because he knows about his rep and stuff. What a shit show.
I know, dude. That was amazing.
All the times that they ran into the cops, whether they the cops knew or not, it was so funny to me.
Hey, you all right?
Yes, I'm fine.
You better watch where you're going, buddy.
Yes.
So is it at this point that he goes to get his daughter or goes to see his daughter or something?
At this point, they talk for a minute. Well, Lucas is like, you're a pain in the ass. They wanted to part ways, but he was hurt so bad that Perry was like, I know a doctor. I know a doctor.
That's right. That's right. I was like, where did the leg and the doctor come in? Anyway, go ahead.
Well, because he shot him.
Yeah, exactly. I just wasn't... I couldn't remember.
But yeah, so he takes him to this veterinarian who's losing his goddamn mind.
He's definitely crazy.
Dude.
So he mistakes Lucas for a dog, and he just treats him like a dog the entire time, and he doesn't have any anesthetic, so he just puts
Pours
him in
alcohol.
enough pain. It puts him in enough pain to make Lucas just pass out. And he's like, it's for the best. And then he's feeding him dog food, and then later on, the police are looking for him, and then he says, no, he had a dog, and they were like, okay, yeah, you're crazy, you're not a reliable witness.
Right.
So we meet Meg.
Yes, Perry picks her up. They almost get caught a lot in this.
Yeah.
He brings his daughter back to Lucas.
Mm-hmm. And can we talk about how much that could be if you're dating somebody new and now you get to introduce your kids to that somebody new and be like, here's a new person in your life. It was that level. It was on that level for me.
Meg could have seen it that way.
Yes.
I see that. Even though it's they hate each other at this point in time. And Lucas is almost dying.
Do I take a bus or walk?
Walk.
Right.
Don't look anyone in the eye on the street.
Why not?
There's a rule. When you're on the lam, you don't want to be noticed, so you keep your head down, your eyes on the ground.
Got it. Anything else?
You got no friends anymore. Remember that. Be suspicious of everyone.
They talk about this is where they get their passports, or try to get the passport.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. He asked Lucas for advice on how to get papers, and he said, you need to go to this place and talk to this guy.
Right, and he did it terribly.
That was another shit show.
Right. Well, the way he asked for advice, it was like a kid in a candy store. How can you teach me about, bad things?
Yeah. And he's like, for real, though, I imagine that's how I would do it. If, for example, before pot became legal, if I wanted to smoke pot, I would be like, okay, where do I go? How do I ask? How much is it? What does it, everything I need to do? I would have approached it exactly like that. And I'm like,
like a school project.
Yeah.
Got it. Anything else?
You're an asshole.
Well, let's go to Charlie's club, because that was, like you said, a shit show.
Oh, Jesus, that was amazing, though. So Charlie, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Charlie was like, nah, I want $50,000 or some ridiculous amount of number.
5 years.
Yeah.
Inflation is huge.
Yeah. But he knows that Lucas, isn't something about Lucas, worth something to him? And that's why, something about it, he thought he was going to be able to get more money.
Yeah, because they robbed a bank.
Yeah, so he thought that he would be able to get that bank money.
So the word on the street is they have robbed a bank, and I think he said he only had $17,000.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, the guy was like, no, he wanted 50. And so then Lucas comes in, saves the day, because the phone calls and stuffs, I think.
Yeah, you missed a lot. Hold on.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
It's okay. And the
I
way
need to
you
take
hung
better
your head
notes.
down.
Wah,
Like,
wah,
don't-
wah, 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 wah,
Don't do that.
wah.
It's okay. I got you. I got your back. So Perry actually, I think he stays the night because Lucas, he's getting better. He's with Meg, who's not saying anything, just staring at him with her face.
That's right.
And then a knock on the door, and it's a police officer with his canine. And they were actually on the job, but every year he goes to visit this vet, this retired vet. It's just a whole thing.
Just to see the dog. Yeah. Let the dog see the old vet.
Yes,
and it's
bad
just
luck for Lucas. He's sitting there
Yeah.
covering his leg. The dog's totally on on him, but he looks playful, so the cop doesn't, like, mind it until the end. Of course, everybody gets caught, always.
Always.
But he straight up runs. They leave. They get away from it.
Fresh bullet wound in his thigh, and he's running. I mean, he's limping pretty fucking hard, but dude, that must hurt.
Yeah, and Meg caught up with him. He, like, passed out, and she slept right next to him all night. That was the part where it was very cute. However, the saxophone, that's when I noticed the
Jesus.
80s music. So, yeah, I loved when they woke up and they were in these two guys' little place where they run this place. And they're like, we're going to have to charge you. And he just pulls out a gun.
Yes.
It's like, what are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do? Yeah, right? Exactly.
That was
accurate.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is where they go and save Perry. Mm-hmm. You know, I wouldn't, as a ex-convict being in this situation, we're too deep in this little girl, you gotta save the dad. There's no way out of it.
At this point, they used the little girl as the emotional, he had no emotional ties or investment into this at all, but now he does because of the daughter, because of the girl, and he doesn't want her to grow up without her dad. Yes. And I was like, there it is. And this is why it's not really like a romantic comedy, but they form a bond because of this.
Yes. So they go to the club, and on the fly, he grabs a van and just, you know, what anyone would do in this situation, I guess.
Yeah.
He's already fucked in so many ways. Let's just fucking drive into this building, right?
Yep.
I also like the banter between Lucas and Charlie.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, right?
So at this point, this is that good middle of things have slowed down. Everyone's conscious. Mm-hmm. And
we've had one peak of climax, and now we're kind of settling down a little bit before the final.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is where Meg says, don't go. So she says her first words, and the way that her dad is, like, handling it is something I would be like. Like, Lucas, don't show any sorts of differences, but all he's doing is showing differences.
Yes.
And starts crying as they're, like, turned behind.
Oh, no, you make her asshole!
So they're trying to leave, but they get caught again. Somehow she gets stuck in the home again, the orphanage or whatever she's at, the school.
So it's literally they part ways. Martin Short walks around the corner, and there's all these cops. And so they chase him, like, they drive away, and they chase him into a zoo. So they meet back up because Lucas notices all this.
Yeah.
And they, like, hide it looked like a zoo or something in the park.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
and all these cops are looking for him, and they find Meg, and they take her. So, So Meg's taken away, and then we hop back to a brief moment with the detectives talking about the veterinarian, and they're just laughing at this whole story.
They're like, as soon as the guy opened his mouth and said something about a dog, they were just like, yeah, this guy's cuckoo.
Right. Getting shot, being treated like a dog.
Yeah, right?
But also, they do find out that he is innocent. Something happens next where he's able to show his freedom. And I believe when they got Meg, Perry and Lucas, they didn't see eye to eye, and Perry ran off. Yep. It was on his own.
Yep, that was the dark night.
The dark and stormy night in a fishnet.
Now, in romance books or rom-coms or anything that do with romance, there's always quote unquote the dark night where
the fight.
The biggest fight, and then they break up for a minute, and they're just like so sad, and then something happens that brings them back together, and happily ever after, right?
It's weird how they did make this into like a romance, but not.
It was a rom-com, dude, and a lot of movies were like this. There's actually a couple of books about this kind of story structure that a lot of authors read. It's called Save the Cat.
Okay.
A lot of authors for screenwriting and fiction books that use that as a blueprint for their own stories.
Nice.
So anyway, Yeah, a little trivia there for you.
Right. And they do come back together.
Yeah, they do come back together.
Did you find it odd that after Lucas, was free, I don't know how long Perry was on the run after this. It seemed like it should have been maybe months or something.
Yeah, because he slept in a fishnet. Yeah.
Because it showed one night with Perry sleeping in a fishnet, but with Lucas, all of a sudden he has a van, he has a job, he's his own construction or plumbing. I don't remember what it was. Locksmith. Couldn't figure out how he was able to get this job and get his stuff. He looked like he was working independently. I was very baffled, but there's no rhyme or reason, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe he just decided to go get a job with a friend the next day. Maybe that's just what it was.
Well,
maybe...
that wouldn't make sense because then, he uses the van and...
Oh, yeah. As if he's already been working it for a couple months.
Right, and he just goes and shows up to see Meg and give her a stuffed animal. It just seemed very, his own boss. So.
Yeah, it was very weird, that's for sure. And the timing of it was weird between him and Ned Perry. So, when they meet up again, Perry was like, I slept in a fishnet. And I'm like, okay, so it really was one night. But what the fuck's up with Lucas?
Right.
What was that?
It made no sense to me. But anyways.
I think that was an error.
So, Lucas sees the kid, and
she's not responding to him. It's like a total, man, I can't have emotions, but I'm having emotions. And
right. He's like, I don't understand. This kid said her first words to me. It's
and now
it's very emotionally damaging.
Me. Right.
Because who knows his upcomings? He's probably working with his inner child at this moment. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, after that, let me look at my notes. Because I think he just sees Perry.
They talk for a minute, and then I think Perry was like, I gotta get my daughter. I gotta get out of here. And I think Lucas at that point was even realizing that, Meg needs her dad.
Yeah, okay. So, he was leaving, and it was dark out, and then that's when they saw each other.
Yeah.
So
and then Lucas was like, fuck it, I gotta go back in there and get her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which was hilarious.
I know.
Harry should not be walking through rooms.
Yes, number one. But number two, once again, this ends as a shit show.
Dude, that kid that he first takes and he puts back don't scream, and then they all start screaming and the panic. Oh my god, it was hilarious. He's a great actor. I should watch more of his stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
Reasons why we're doing this.
Exactly.
I mean, and then this is the big chase. This is
this is the chase. The police woman who's been monitoring Meg.
You were about to say hold Meg hostage.
Yeah. I mean, technically, but Meg was in the med ward because she hadn't been eating. Yeah. And so she was being monitored there, and Perry and Lucas are just fucking... It's just a shit show because they're literally running around with their heads cut off and making little girls scream all the time, which was hilarious. Mm-hmm. And then the policewoman was just like, no, you can't get her. And then they're trying to flee from her. But it was just ridiculous. And they end up knocking her out, I think.
Yeah, they got the gun from her and put her in a closet.
Oh, that's right. And it was enough to get the girl and get out of there.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And I love how he's just what should we do? Let's go to one of my clients' house. I guess I'm with you guys and running away. It's just,
and they're going to be gone for a month and blah, blah, blah.
And they're rich because they have caviar.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love how Perry carries his daughter, and then Lucas carries Perry, who's carrying his daughter, into the house. Mm-hmm. It's what? You guys are weird.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we don't know how much time really has passed, but in my mind, Lucas still has that bullet wound.
That's where I think it's been a couple months and Perry's just been sleeping in nets or wherever. You know what I mean? I feel like that's why there was passing of time and they didn't show it very well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Because you've got to establish your clientele. Yeah, so the Meg. The Meg, the babe. So Meg says a couple more things here and there. Not a lot, but she's feeling better. I love how Lucas, he must have been planning this for a while because he was like, look at all these clothes, and he gives the idea of being 2 men and a woman to go over the border, or sorry, a husband and a wife and a boy to go over the border.
Yeah. Yep.
Which was very smart,
Very smart. He even got the papers.
Yeah, so he was planning.
So then they don't they run into the cops again? I can't remember. Or do
There's
they just
a
go
stop at the border, I think.
Yeah. Or
right
checkpoint.
before, or something. Yeah. But yeah, they stop and pretend he's pregnant.
Fix your wig, darling.
They stole the teddy bear that Lucas gave Meg, stuff it under his dress. Then they get it, like, he's thrown onto a gurney and being escorted into the hospital. And then he's just like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then he's like, gives birth, quote unquote, to this teddy bear that falls out of his dress as he's standing. And I was like,
yeah,
this is epic.
It was pretty fun. So now, after this point, they get to Canada.
Yay!
It's like dreams come true, right?
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
That's all I know of that national anthem. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I don't know it either, but I'm not from Canada.
Yeah, but we're neighbors. We should probably know.
Fine, I'll
But
learn.
again, American education sucks. So, sorry. We're trying.
It's okay.
Thank God for the internet.
Thank you, Internet. But anyways, the best part about this whole thing is the ending is the beginning.
The ending is the beginning.
Perry goes into the bank to, get his...
Deposit the money.
Yeah, get his money changed into Canadian money. And
yes.
There's a stick up, and he's the
hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go again.
Lucas and Meg look at each other, and here we go.
You goddamn asshole.
Why was there not a part 2? I don't understand. But they should have made one.
They should have made... Maybe they can make the remake now. Now that Lucas and Perry are older... They could be like, here was the fallout of that, and then they would go back. Like, I don't know. That would be really fun to see them doing something like that.
Oh my god. So instead of being like remaking this, it should just do the sequel, because I don't think it needs to be remade.
But I think it would be even funnier because Martin Short and Nick Nolte are older. It would be even funnier if they still played themselves as older men, but then, like, I don't know, did some sort of callback to what happened after the fact of that. Like, what happened when when Perry was taken hostage and all that shit. And, like, I don't know. It could be a really interesting story to see how what happened there ties into whatever they need to do now as old people. Quote unquote old people. They're not that old.
Ageist much? I'm just kidding. I mean,
know,
I
right?
really think it would be fun to see the follow-up for sure as older gentlemen, and then have an actress as Meg saying the original girl doesn't want to do it, have somebody, I think it would be so cool. And
because they could be like, they could just have a quick little thing in the beginning of how the police were just like, yeah, no, it's no big deal. He's fine. Bye-bye. And then, like, 20 years later, 40 years later, they're back, and this guy has hunted them down, and they've ruined his life, and all, like, I don't know, it's something ridiculous.
Oh my god, what if it was Meg's getting married in the States, and they go back?
Oh!
Martin Short, are you listening?
Make it happen at Nick Nolte and Martin Short.
There it is.
Or whoever.
Found it.
Nobody... Yeah, right.
Like they'd listen, but just in case, that's a great idea, and use it.
Yeah, use it. Somebody who's a screenwriter. I don't understand screenwriting yet, but I kind of want to dabble in it. But if there's a screenwriter out there who likes this idea, write it.
Yeah,
please do, and then submit it and see what happens.
Perfect.
Because that would be awesome. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know.
You should
We'll figure it out.
patent that shit. All right. Ratings. Billy, what would you give this movie?
I think I'd give it a good 8. A 7 or 8. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Nice.
Because it was the perfect movie. I sat down
it was great.
to watch it, and granted, I do want to take notes. I do want to try my best to remember what happens, but it was just
me
so
too.
feel good to sit and watch.
Yes. And that's part of the reason why I just didn't take all that many notes. I was just like, this is too good. I don't want to stop.
Right. And I felt that way, too, with Pee-wee's
Yes.
It was just such a delight to watch for me.
Yes. It was a
So-
delight. Exactly.
I get that. Nice.
And dude, Martin Short, dude.
He is great.
A+. They both were. God, they were great.
I can't wait to see more movies with them in it that we pull. Speaking of,
So yeah.
I
Speaking
have
of,
it.
let's pull.
Let's pull some. Let's pull a movie.
I like how this has been surprising. Some of these movies, I'm like, oh, I don't know, like License to Drive or Three Fugitives or whatever, and I'm actually kind of enjoying them. And it's getting me out of my box.
I love it. Speaking of box.
Speaking of boxes,
All right. I want to make sure they're really
God.
good.
guess what? I'm still nervous.
Oh,
Why do
my
I get
goodness,
nervous?
she's nervous.
Every fucking
She's
time?
nervous. Oh, Lord, she's nervous. Let's see what we got here, oh, Lord. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, yes. We're going to watch the original Hairspray. 1988.
Yes!
Oh, my gosh.
Yes!
I love the new version. Never saw the old one, but I like the new version so much.
I don't think I've ever seen the old version either, but I love Hairspray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm super excited for this one.
This is going to be great.
You guys, you better watch it, So, Hairspray, make sure to watch and follow along, listen with us. Billy has all of our contact info she's going to give you right now, because I always make her do this.
So yeah, if you want to share information about these movies or share your stories, what do you like, what do you not like, anything, we would just want to talk with you guys, and we want to share other people's experiences with these movies in any way. Our website is www.silverscreensisters.com, and we have a contact form on there for you to go ahead and fill out. And it goes directly to our inbox. Or if you just want to email us, our email address is connect, CONNECT, at silverscreensisters.com. And we have a Facebook group that you're more than welcome to join it, so we can all chat about these movies. We're also on Instagram and Twitter, and we love to talk to people. So tag us, send us messages, DM us, anything. We're here.
Perfect. Yay. I can't wait for next week to talk to you about this.
Yes.
But in the meantime, let's not work too hard.
Yes. Yeah. Let's take a breath, take a breather. It's spring.
Enjoy the changing weather.
Enjoy the sun.
Outside.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Well, I love you, sister.
Love you too. Until next week.
Until next week. Go watch Hairspray. I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others and leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, check out our website at silverscreensisters.com. Silver Screen Sisters 80s edition is hosted by Billy and Sophie. Editing is done by Sophie, and cover art was done by Billy, with special illustration work done by Facencia. Intro and outro music composed by Future Mono, and hold music composed by the Mini Vandals. This is a Silver Screen Sisters production and is powered by Coffee and Yoga Pants.